two ways of really bringing somebody's hands on the mat. You have your guard closed, you're nice and comfortable. You come over, I call it splitting the difference. So you split it, you bring them forward so you plant, or you go underneath. And for this move, I like it underneath better, because if they're here, you can just kind of hip up a little bit, bridge, and then come out. We're going to keep this right hand. This hand, we're going to swim around the world. And what we're going to do is open our legs, come up onto our elbow at first. Now the goal here is for the hip bone. I'm going to grab the back of his forearm, not his tricep, forearm, right here. And so what happens is once you get here, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to bump hard, right? So the arc, you're going to bump. Tugging that to your body, he goes over, you end up in mount, okay? Once you get in the mount, just be prepared for any and all that needs to happen and go down. The other variation is when they sit back some, right? And I like to, especially in the gi, a lot of times people will sit back. If your closed guard is good and they have a hard time opening it, they try the traditional ones, they get frustrated, especially if you're pulling down their head a lot, they'll sit back for this break. And if they sit too far back, so sit forward from me a little bit, right here. He's okay here. Still a little high. Normally people will have their hands on you so you can't sit up into them. That's kind of a control. But when he leans his arms back to try to start breaking the guard open, he'll lean back a little bit, or he's like that, right? Yes. Sometimes he'll do that. Same thing applies, except we're going to, if he's attempting to open our guard, we're not going to open our legs up until we're sitting up. If he's not opening the guard, but he's leaning back to get away from the guard, then you can open, but at the same time, you need to come up to your hand, not your elbow. If I come up to my elbow on this one, please, which will go into the next iteration of what we're going to do. But you kind of feel this out now. While I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 with this sit-up sweep, when it goes, you actually have to go from 1 to the finish quickly. Because you don't have a lot of time to do this very slowly, okay? He's going to react, and really for him, all he has to do is just flat his shoulders back down, and it pushes me back from that. But he's leaning back, and say I'm trying to, he's leaning back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit up, come here. Because this gives me the elevation to bump my hips in. But like I said, guys, you're not going to go slow on that. You're going to go quickly, right? And it's a reactionary thing. Like I said, this one, we're here, we come up, and we bump. And you don't even, and the best thing to do for that bump is to look away. Notice I looked away every time. You look away. Don't look at him. Because if you look at him while you hip bump, your hips are only going to go this far. But if I look away, they're going to go a little farther.
Look towards the way you're throwing, like you're sweeping them?
Look away from him.
Look away from it.
Yeah, here, I'll show you. And then we'll do the second one. So the second one, we're here, holding down. He doesn't like it. He wants to sit back, but I kind of let him get this last little bit of fingertips. I'm like it's he's leaving. Oh, no. See how I looked over there? As I do that, it's going to naturally articulate my body, and that hip bump is going to be better. When you're with your training partners, try to look at it at the same time. You're going to be like, and it's going to stop. And you're like, dude. But then when you just look away, think about your play baseball. When you swing the bat, did you swing like this?
Yeah, looking at the ball.
Looking at the ball, and you go through the swing. So it's kind of what you're doing. You're going through the hip bump and looking away, right? It would be similar to like if the ball's coming right here and you just go. But when you hit it, you go like that, right? Same thing with the ball. You're not going to go. You're gonna. Yeah, you just spun me around what I did. All right, guys, grab a partner on 3. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you guys don't run into that. So, what hand are you? Left or right handed? Yeah, go to the right if you're right handed, left if you're left handed. Just, no. So here's what you're going to do. So take your hands underneath like this. Pull your knees in while you do it. So go back. So hands underneath, boom, and wrap this way. Yeah, go up. Go back. Now see how you're bringing that across the front? See if I just stop it and he brings it from your chest. Boom. Here. Stop. So grab his wrist.
Oh, yeah.
Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna swim that around the world and come all the way up on your elbow. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. See how you swim up on your elbow? Go back, bring it across the chest. Levi's not gonna stop you. You come up on your elbow. See how you had to bump twice to get up on your elbow? You had to work hard. So swimming that around creates a momentum. All in one. It's an all in one. Guys, when you're swinging that arm around, I was yes. Oh, now hold on. So before you swing around on this one, you open up your leg. That's what makes it difficult. So go back, close guard. You split the difference. You grab the wrist. Now here, stop. Open your guard. Put your feet flat on the ground. Now swim around up to your elbow. Now wait. Now take this hand and cup the back of his forearm. Forearm. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is that you're using the lever, right? You don't grab. You're using a hammer. You don't grab it by the hammer. By the head, you grab it at the bottom. So we need to have this hand grab down here so that when you go, you're going to suck that next to your ribs. Unlock. Feet on the ground. Swim all the way around. Come up. Now, you're going to hip bump. When you hip bump, hold on, I want you to look at me and suck that to your rib cage. And then now try the one where you open up and then you swim around. Well, this time you're going to go all the way up onto your hands. So you're not really going to grab it like this. Levi's going to lean back. This is a you don't grab it. So watch. Hands going to close your guard, and then he leans back. He's going to lean back right here. Now you still have to unlock your legs. Now unlock and go. Okay. That one was way powerful. That was way more powerful.
Those without the arm.
Yeah. But you know why that was more powerful? Because he was leaning back to keep his posture up. So it's going to be faster. He's just going to be sitting. He's going to fly. When he's here, you have to bump through him. He's got better pace. Try that first one again real quick. That second one you did great. But now you're just walking through it. Go through it the 100%. You would just go from there. Nice. Good job.
That second one, when you're postured up, you're going up over the top, right?
Same as you did. Same motion. Yeah. You don't want to grab their head. You're not going to grab their arm unless they just put it there. So you just kind of sit up and turn away. So if you're here, boom, you can grab his forearm if you need to. So from right here, Cam, you and I are tall, so we get away from being on the elbow or this because we're up higher, our arms longer.
Yeah.
If you don't have a wrist, now. Oh, he left the ground. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. But here's the problem. That works when they're posturing back because you have a longer space that you have to close the distance. When he's down and you grab the wrist, the distance isn't there. So you need to grab that and then you come up on that elbow to maintain your base. So what we're thinking about here, guys, is distance. When their hands are on the mat, their chest will be lower. So you can come up on your elbow. Like I was just talking to Cam. Myself and Cam have long arms. We could probably get away with that one from the elbow too, because our arm is long. But it's really not about how long your arms are, it's mainly about the distance between their torso and your body. So if you try to come up there, see how he's close to his upper body? That's where you go. As long as you're close there, right? Boom. And that's why you can't pause. You have to like go for it. Now in reality, how are we gonna do this? You're gonna pull his head down, you're gonna keep him thinking he needs to be down. If you get one good arch back, I usually take my knees and pull him forward because now he thinks I only want him to come down, and then I get him down, and then I'll let my grip slip a little bit. Because I want him to think, oh, I'm coming down. And when he does that, boom, I'm going.
Send it.
Huh?
Send it.
Send it, yes. So in reality, it'll look like this. So I'm here, hands down. He doesn't want to be down. So see how I'm bringing my knees in? I'm making him think I want him. Yeah. I'm here, and if he gets out, if he sits back like that, I'm like, cool. I don't do it here. He's already got his forearms on my thighs. If I go to do that here, he's just gonna open my guard. So I come here, and I'll sit up, and I'll again. And I get deep into this armpit, and I'm like this, messing with his, and he doesn't want to be here, right? So when he goes to sit up next time, boom. And I was so tight that he put his hands on the mat to make that space to come up. I went for it. So, it's not one of those where you're just gonna be sitting there looking them in the eye. You've got to play into it. You know, the sit-up sweep is one of those, you usually want them to, and guys, sometimes they're like, okay, fine, you pull my posture down. Some people can pass guard really well from their posture being broken down. They're comfortable being low, getting around things. But if you get somebody who absolutely does not like their posture broken down, that's your sit-up sweep guy. That's your bump, hip bumps. They're both the same. Sit-up sweep, hip bump sweep, the same thing. That's your sit-up sweep guy. And then you play with it. It's like a cat with a toy. It's like patting it around. You're like, you felt how I was getting heavy and I was reaching your armpit and I'm coming at your neck and you're like, oh crap, he's getting ready to do something. I gotta get out of here. And that's when I'll let go and you'll come up and I'm already halfway through the motion as you're sitting up. You're like, oh crap. So what happens now if our timing is a little off or they just have to be really good at stopping us? So the second is going to be our Kimura. So we did this one, right? And then I'm going to open, I'm going to come all the way up. Another little landmark for you to remember is whether it's here or here, I should be feeling his shoulder or my rib cage in my armpit. You're good. If you're that close, you're good. If there's a little bit down here, that's fine as long as you still have a good grip. So I haven't taken this off. I come up, and if I begin to lose this, and Levi pushes me back down, that's fine. I shoot my hand under, grabbing my own wrist, and then I throw my leg over his back. And then what I like to do here is I like to make a little bit of space. Here. Now I'm comfortable. Before I was kind of like this, now I'm comfortable. The goal for the Kimura is to retract my elbow and push with this. At the same time, I'm rotating my shoulders, so it's a continuous motion of like here. I've taught kids every day this week how to do the Kimura. I've learned there's lots of mistakes people make. Sometimes they come here, sometimes they're here, sometimes they're like this. Here's the motion, so if you think, retract the elbow, push the hand, and I always tell people, make their hand touch the back of their head. Now mind you, you're not going to get all the way there. If you do, never Kimura that person, you're wasting your time. Here, and then what I'm going to do is this keeps him from rolling out, and yes, real quick, yeah, now we're in a different picture. Pushes me down. Oh no, I come right to here. What I like to do is make sure I have a bend in his elbow. That's kind of what I'm doing. Now, I'm not going to go fully into all the techniques and details of the Kimura, because there's just a bunch. But I'm just going to show the finish. So we grab it here. I retract my elbow as I push my hand, and I'm making it go to the back of his head. Now, when you do this, from this position, you have no reason to go back. Levi, can you defend this? Why is it important for me to remember that? Yeah. So next time, if it's close, I can. Once I get within a few degrees of it, I start to see I can catch right here. The end, kind of like that. That's the end of the iron on the boat. That's where he's at boat. Right there. Just on his finger, got right there. So I know now that's his best area. So I don't hurt, okay? The leg keeps him from rolling. You have to bend the elbow to get it tight, and then you just, it's like, and then at a certain point you can just start pushing a little bit. I'll put it to you this way. You want to deal with some flexible jokers, come to the kids' classes, bro. Them little jokers, their leg stuff is just broken. Their hand will come almost to the back of their head. And it's tough teaching kids because sometimes they don't listen. But I will say this. In my experience in Callahan, my little kids class listens way better than my teenagers. And it is vital that you guys go slow on this, especially for us, because who in here is homeless and is on government assistance and doesn't have to work? You know what I'm saying? You got a job? Kind of, yeah. So at least Levi's, he's a teen in the class. He's still working. He's got things. He's got goals in life, right? So the rest of us have jobs, kids, and careers, and families, and bills. So we don't need to be in a sling, right? So let's just grab that grip. Once we bring it here, can anybody not? And a good thing to do too is also ask your training partner before you drill this. Be like, hey, you got any shoulder injuries or anything? And that's always a good courtesy thing to be like, oh, we're drilling heel flips. Is your knee destroyed? Do you have problems with your ankles? We're doing arm bars. How's your elbow? You know, we're doing rear naked chokes. Do you have a slip disc in your neck? Are you almost paralyzed? You know, these are kinds of things you're like, bro, are you good? You're not injured. Are you okay? Cool. I mean, it's always good to do that. I'll even like sometimes before I put pressure on people, I'll be like, hey, or I'll wait, and then they'll be like, oh, I've got a rib thing. I'm like, all right, cool, and I won't do pressure. I'll just switch to other stuff because I want people to be able to come back to it. And that doesn't mean every time we come in here, you're just like, oh, coach, I got rib injuries. I don't need pressure. I'll be like, you liar! I watched you roll with 2 other people, and you were pressuring them. Let's grab our partners. Let's work that more. 1, 2, 3. It has a drape across the back. Go roll. And then what you're gonna do, yeah, just drape it across the back. Now, see how you've got his arm extended? Let's slow down. Let's keep this on the chest. Just keep it to your chest. And now you're just gonna go slowly, rotate your left elbow back. Go nice and slow. Remember the end is right here. So you're almost there. Right there. It's the same spot every time on this little end on the iron. Right there, boom, it stops. Which is, you know, standard. It's what you want. Pinch your heel to your knee. No, don't lock it. Just put your heel on top of your knee. So there you go, like that. Like a lock. Now see how his arms out like this? Let's bend it. Nice. Now slowly rotate your left elbow down to the mat. There you go. He'll throw you a bird right as it's getting close. That's how CJ likes to do it.
Keep you on your toes.
Hands on the mat. Don't like getting out a little bit.
Yeah. Got you, Ted. I think that's yeah, I think sideways a little bit.
Yeah. You get a little bit. How long you been training? Bring it to your chest, CJ, first. Nice. Now rotate left elbow to the mat. You can't pull the leg from there.
Right.
So stick it to your chest, Cam. Nice. Grab your wrist and just let your shoulders fall back. See, you're almost halfway there. Now the right elbow on this one, the right elbow is gonna come to the mat nice and slow. So make your right elbow touch the mat.
Place you find yourself a lot.
See how it automatically is starting to tap. When you guys are in this position and you go over and under and here, the top elbow, start to think, keep it close to your chest. Start to think, I want to touch my elbow on the mat. What that does is creates a tension in the shoulder that if you're like this, loosey-goosey, the tension's not there. And that's, like I said, I wasn't going to go completely into it. See how he bends his elbow? The more his arm is out at 90, the more strength he has. Bend it like this. You see why? Push it down. Right there's good. You hip down very well. Now here's what you're gonna do. See how you kind of slow at 90? When you hip down, his elbow So go back. Don't get balanced so far that you lose the elbow off your chin. You'll see the difference. Boom. And just hit it once. Stop. Right there. Now, you got your grip. Take your right elbow and put it on the mat. How'd that feel, bro?
I took it all.
Tighter than before? Yeah. So the thing is, like, we get caught up trying to put the hand on the back of the head. So sometimes I'll tell people, sometimes people take hands to the back of the head and they automatically put the hand there and it works. Other times I'll adjust. Instead of saying, create more tension in the shoulder by, articulating this elbow, I just say, bring this elbow to me. And if you do that, it's like automatically you start to make a difference. It needs to change. So if you think bringing the elbow to the mat, keep everything tight. If you think keep your elbow to the mat, you go like this. If I say bring his hand to the back of his head, sometimes people want to do this. So it's a good idea for landmarks. So the hand to the back of the head is not wrong. Just we get caught up in trying to put it back there. But then if we bring our elbow to the mat, we keep everything tight. Because there's really no way to take your elbow and get it onto the mat nice and slow. So bring it here to your chest on. And think elbow to the mat. Nice and slow.
Directionally across.
Yeah, tail tugger. Yeah. Which is weird, right? Because hands in the back of their head is natural. You think, oh, that's going to make that move more good. And it does. The added bonus is if you're a little loose, just bring your elbow to the mat. It changes the direction of everything and makes you focus. All right, so now, last one. So here. Sit up, but instead of doing all that, I'm gonna scoot back until I can sit up straight. And I'm gonna wrap it easy. And then what I'm gonna do, I bring the fist here, and I say make a fist. This is better to manipulate than this. Especially if you're in the gi, it's gonna be all kind of fabric and you can't figure out what it is. But the fist makes a little bit of a space for you to come up and bring your finger underneath. I want you guys to pay attention to this triangle. This is where your neck is. If I bring my hand up as high as I can, that triangle is smaller. If I shrug my shoulders, it gets a little smaller. If I dip my elbow, it goes away. So when you wrap it, and the important thing is this, when I'm up and I sit up, I scoot back till I can sit perfectly like this. If I simply scoot back enough to get my arm in, I end up trying to get here, and now I'm in this tight core situation. I can't really maneuver because I'm trying to balance and not be pushed back. So if you have to do two bumps, so you're sitting like this, and between you two, this one doesn't go under the arm, it goes around the front. We bring it up, shrug up our shoulders, and then we're gonna dip our elbow to the mat. Okay? Be wise or be aware of the legs. If you go backwards now, without going into a full guillotine lesson, put your chin on the back. Who here's watched MMA fights where they went to do a guillotine and they fell back and the head popped out? Why did that happen? Well, because they're probably slippery, the guy's probably bald. You might have a great guillotine, you might be tired, but you threw your body back to pull him in, and if he pokes and stops, there's a chance you're gonna slip off the crown of the head. And once that slips, his head pops out. Boom, now you're in bottom closed guard in an MMA fight. That sucks. If you watch the guys who do the guillotines really well, initially, when they get it, they're crunched up and their neck is extended forward. They're usually putting their chin on the back to keep that tight. Close everything down and then crunch. And then if the person pushes them back, they keep their chin on the back, and then that turns it into a very tight guillotine. Now, are there guys who finish guillotines by falling back all the time? But why sacrifice good technique for an anomalous skill that you have? Sit up, scoot back. I get close, I let my rib cage feel his side of his head, and I wrap underneath. I make my fist, and I bring it up the middle, and I shrug. And if I need to, I bring my elbow down to my head. And listen, it might not always happen right away.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be patience. If I get here, and I keep my chin on his back, and I bring it up as high as I can. One thing also, I don't flex my muscle or try to squeeze. Did you do me squeezing at all very much?
Not much, no.
It was all position. Now, I'll add a little bit of a squeeze in. So we get here, I bring it up in front, I'm tight. Right toward the end, I start to squeeze a little bit. It's mainly going to be position. Now, here's what it looks like when he pushes you back. Get up, get tight. Just as tight. Just as tight, yep. But what did I not do? I kept my chin up there, fell back, it was nice and tight. And I also didn't extend my hips. You've seen the guys do that before to get in a DT position, they extend their hips out. I don't do that in here because what does that create? I can do that. That doesn't take anything. If I'm in a situation where I'm worried about fighting somebody and I want to eat really quick and I don't really care about this person, that's gonna create some problems for them. But not in here. But not in here, I'm not really looking to do that so much. Okay? Any questions? All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Oh, next leg or hips out.
Belly down.
Ooh, and then yeah. Some guys are rigid. I'll say that way. Very rigid. So then now, whoa, Garth, try to get I was gonna say try it. No, hip in, keep your hips close. Now try it. See how you can barely get your arm back there? Now try to bring it up your chest. Yeah, he's getting out of that. He's gonna crush and get out of that, right? All right, so this time, restart from the very beginning, then scoot until you feel like you're comfortable sitting up. All right, Cam, see how you're falling back already? He's gonna get his head out of that. So scoot your hips back again. One more time. Now see how you're sitting up comfortably? If you can see what I saw, you'll see that you're like, oh, this is so much better. Okay, fine. Let it go.
Yeah, I did.
Patience.
That feels a lot better when I don't have to see this back.
So when you don't scoot your hip back, you're in this like core E thing where you're balancing on your butt and you're trying to do all this. They're gonna push you away, they're gonna get out. So scoot your hips back to your comfy. Now right. Grab it with your hand, chin on the back. Drop your elbow in. There you go. And then give him a sec, and then try the one where he pushes you back.
That went good.
Oh, so when you hold up, go back. So you want to have everything in so that when he pushes you back, your chin's like, as soon as he pushed you down, your chin came off the back, you're trying to readjust.
Yeah, I'm just, okay.
Yeah, take your time. No. Get into position. So on this one, the speed is going to be sit up, now wrap. Now, sit up comfortably, grab your hand, chin on the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go. Don't expect attack in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Expect attack in 7 seconds. The high elbow guillotine is fine. I do this. I bring it under my fist. I just bring it up here. So I'm just like this. Yeah. Just hold it straight up and then shrug my shoulders and dip. Scoot your hips back one more time. And it also gives you space to be able to create that. So do this. Hey, you're here, you got long arms like me. Switch. Like a taco with your hand. Look at this now. Meaty part of your hand. Meaty part makes problems. Underneath here. Now, push it up to your shoulder. So dip your elbow. Oh, you already got the tap?
Yeah.
Yeah. Long arms. This is where long arms is a problem. His is probably tighter guillotine than mine, aren't they?
A little bit, yeah. I feel
Arthur's got those big meaty arms, so when he gets around there and he lifts, it's like, it automatically gets tighter faster. So for us with longer arms, you're like, oh, coach, you got long arms. You can just wrap that around the head. Yeah, but then I have to get all that space away. So you might end up doing like this. Maybe talk over your hand and push that over like that. Super tight. Super tight. What do they call it? It was Cody McKinney who did that personally in UFC. He was in the Ultimate Fighter. He had long hair. And he would do this. And they called it McKinney or Cody Teen or something like that. But he was known, if you got around your neck, you just take it, just punch it like this. And he won a lot of fights.
Wasn't he the guy that always made fun of when you ran up to the camera? Like,
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't harm it.
And arm-in isn't bad, it's just you have to adjust a little more. I'm not a big fan of the arm-in. Well,
But it's just like,
there was a thing I saw. I have to go back and research how much you guys do. So you did the arm-in, and there's a thing where you like cross your fists, and then you can come in. So it looks like this, almost. And you're just curling it in. So when your hands are open, focus on grabbing things a lot of times. So there's certain times in jiu-jitsu, we were talking about this morning, when you get that Russian tie and you switch it over. I used to grab my own wrist with a Russian tie. Then I learned that if you take your fist and swim it through and punch it down, it makes it way tighter because there's a constant tension. When I would grab my own wrist, the tension was me grabbing my wrist, not so much on their arm. When I punch it through, it's tight. So when you're here, you get that, and you're like, boom, boom. If you bring that together, your fists are making tension that comes onto the neck versus like trying to grab. It makes sense. Regardless. So if I try to grab here, so if I try to grab here with my hands and I try to make this tight, no, I just blow my forearms up. Now, this only. Yeah. Yeah. So when I did this, I'm like trying to make it happen. When I went here, you know what I'm saying? Now,
You rotate it in.
I just bring him up like that. Now, he's not really fighting them, my grips as much, so you would need to adjust from there. So then it would probably be a hold, right? But most guys are gonna be like, my arm's in there, I'm good to go. That's not gonna, they're used to that first one where they're like, well, I got time, I can figure this out. But the one with the fists makes it a little different. So if you've got somebody who's not actively trying to fight, or maybe they're posting their hands down on the mat, go with it. Give about 3 seconds to get that shot over. 1, 2, 3. And I think that's one variation. If I find the other one, I'll come back and let you guys know when I find it. From the guillotine with the arm in, and then just make your fist cross like this, Skip, and just turn them up. See how far you are? Shrug your shoulders up and bring it like this. Lead. Cross them. Shrug your shoulders up. Nope. Like this. And turn it into your chest. Yeah, so not bad. Just like this. So the one that's around his neck will be supported by the other one. Now take all the slack out, chin on his back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Much better.
Yeah. How was that, CJ? What do you? So what are you doing with the grips? Alright, so his head is here. This one goes around your head. This one goes over the arm. So they're like this. And then we're gonna move like this to your chest. Now the beautiful thing about this is you take as much slack as you need out. You start training. That's the difference. If I'm doing this, look at my elbows. How far apart they are. Now look at how close they are. I took all that space. No. Turn. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sit all the way up. Scoot back to your comfortable. Allow me the arm,
You get
Personally, I
stitches.
don't like system.
cross your wrists, chin on the back, shrug it up.
Like,
Well, then you pass. Like, you have it set up.
A little more effort in that one.
A little more effort.
Yeah.
So don't try to make it happen. Just cross your fists until you can't cross them no more. And just turn them into your rock nice and slow. Don't try to make it happen. Just yeah, give Garth credit try. So around the arm, fists, cross them like this, as far as you can. Chin on the back. Now do this. Just bring them up to your.
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people make trouble. Sometimes guys that don't feel like I would do that. Yeah, feel like but see, that's where a lot of people won't try to fight the grip because they're like, oh, it's armed in. I ain't no way he's finishing this.
like the count, maybe the one can't help me how a little bit more on the team than here in 5 years.
I hate it. AJ does it block it like garbage.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. That was kind of
I gotta stop watching. I hate it.
Let's see, there you go. That's the word. So you see how you didn't just, oh no,
Like, you know, when
now
that
he comes up in here and side control.
Then I end up in one
Because
side.
the difference between around just the neck and the arm is you got around it.
Okay.
So you can control that on the arm, can't stop you.
Okay. Watch out for this game. Heck my neck. That's where it always gets me because I was on a fix. It's like, here, take my neck. Wait, you're gonna take my neck, you're gonna get some pressure.
Oh, for sure. If you didn't have the arm, you could have hopped around instead of on glue and hit it back.
especially with the neck. Anything with the neck. It's like Brody.
But
Brody loves
the fact that you had the arm, when you bridge and you went around, you got totally
I
side
think he did
control as
that
bridge,
probably.
bridge and moved you straight over. Then he comes up on top of you, you just grind in or just switch again and go to a traditional, you can do whatever you need to. There's nothing that says you have to hold
Too
on.
many foot locks and stuff.
Yeah, he's all about some kind of leg lock.
I can defend you with the belt, you know, half and three quarters of that crap, and it's like,
And then also,
alright,
you're
we gotta
sitting
walk
up,
home today.
so
Yeah, I
they
know
push you to
shot.
practice that, and they push you
Where he's like,
back.
I'm fresh out of high school.
So don't
He
try
got his
one more
warranties
time.
and he already got
Don't fall that, let's say you push him back.
That's all tattoo.
He's walking around like he's
Bro, you ain't got more tattoos than I do, what the hell?
He got his tattoo. I guess I was giving him shit for him.
Chin on the back.
I thought it was
Push it
like,
down hard.
come in, and I was like, I thought it was a heel all way. I was like, bro, you're not coming in here with like a unfucked tattoo.
Yeah.
Which is like
Yeah.
open
That's
wounds.
part of it, right? Where's your arm
He's like,
gonna go?
Yeah.
He's like, I gave it like 4 days and I came back.
But I mean, even if you don't get the finish,
He's like, I can heal fast.
True. And also,
Everybody's built different.
how much time do you spend thinking where
It don't take me long to heal on a tattoo. Still, like, even just the amount of
But like you,
sweat.
I get the script and grind, make it loose. That one, you're just like, you're here, you sit up, you just go, bam. And don't even think
What do
about
you
it.
want?
Boom. So if you don't get the tap, they feel the threat from the beginning. And they're like, oh crap, I gotta do something. Just hold on. If they pass you, if you mess around and let them pass you, don't worry. Then don't let go until you're in a good
I thought
position.
my
They're gonna
how
keep
they
getting
was
choked.
probably gonna get some
No matter what, they can't find food, so they gotta do something.
shit.
And bridging is awesome because that arm is
That was
big bridging. They
That
can't
would
see
be cool.
Yeah.
See, like, this tattoo.
All right, guys, any questions? Nope. All right.